Are boilers dangerous? Now, that question gets asked quite a lot, and it really depends. Boilers can be dangerous if they're not looked after properly. If you don't service your boiler, if you don't get a reputable engineer to check the boiler for you and check it thoroughly, then it could be dangerous. So this goes for oil boilers, for gas boilers, any fuel burning appliance can be dangerous. Even a wood burner can be dangerous. So it's important that you get the right engineer to check your boiler at least yearly, checking it thoroughly, checking all the seals, checking it visually, checking all the components are working properly, and making sure that there's no combustion gases leaking into the casing of the boiler or into your room. Now, this isn't the only thing that gets checked during a service. There's lots of internal parts that get checked, cleaned, and if there is any problems, your engineer will advise you and tell you that something needs changed. Now, the biggest thing I would say, the biggest problem that we come across is leaky automatic air vents inside boilers, leaky fittings, leaky connections where there's fiber washers. Maybe they've just deteriorated over time with the water eating them. Or maybe there's been something put on them that's caused them to be deteriorated. And this is the type of thing that we find. And if there is little drips inside your boiler that you can't see, over time, these can be a bigger problem. They can drip onto electrical components inside the boiler and then cause problems further down the line, or they can cause corrosion inside the boiler and then results in you needing a new boiler. So they can be dangerous if they're not looked at. And also, during a gas boiler service, we test the gas supply line from the meter, the gas meter, to the boiler and to any other appliance to make sure that there's no gas leaks in your house. Think of this, if there was a gas leak on a pipe from the meter to your appliance in the house and you didn't know about it, it was going up the back of the wall into a small place, into a enclosed space that you weren't really near, maybe a compartment in the back of the wall, and you couldn't see this space, you are never in this area, and it's maybe ventilated a bit to another room or to outside, somewhere where you don't go. The gas could gather up there, and then it could cause a bigger problem. It could cause an explosion, or that would be the worst case scenario if it's not found. So during a gas service, you test the gas to make sure there's no leaks on it. And if there are any leaks, your engineer will do his best to find that leak as quickly as possible for you to ensure that your house is safe. So that's just another reason to get a gas boiler service. The same goes for oil boilers. If there's oil leaks, it can cause massive problems. It can cause huge damage to the environment if there's something leaking, if there's an oil hose leaking. That's something that we come across often, is oil hoses that haven't been changed in years. They go all brittle, and then they end up having holes. They end up getting holes in them, and then the oil sprays everywhere, causing damage to either the inside of the house, inside the property, or to the environment, to the ground. So it's important that you get your oil boiler checked too. Not only that, but inside an oil boiler, if it's an external boiler or if it's exposed to wind, the wind can cause it to suit up, because if the wind's been blowing at it, it won't always burn as efficiently all the time, which causes soot, and then the soot builds up inside it. Then it's not as efficient. It's not transferring the heat from inside to the water as efficiently as it could. So it's a good idea to get it checked, cleaned, your nozzle changed because your nozzle wears. All these bits can cause problems further down the line. And the other good part about it is it saves you money, because if it's not doing its job properly, then it's going to be costing you money. If it's set up efficiently, it's clean, parts are checked, parts are replaced, then it'll save you money in the long term. So what am I trying to say in this video? Yes, boilers can be dangerous if they're not looked at properly, if they're not checked by a reputable engineer, and then parts replaced. But if you're getting this done yearly by a reputable company or a reputable engineer, then I'm sure your boiler will be safe. Gas boilers are also designed to be fail safe. So if there is a problem, it probably won't work. It'll throw up a fault. So if your boiler throws up a fault, it's a good idea to phone your local company. Phone us 074 925 88828 or 01261 394 011 and get us out to have a look at it. Don't just keep resetting it. If there's a fault coming up, it's because there's a problem. There's something happened and it needs looked at. So remember to get your boiler serviced at least yearly.